questions and then just and go from there.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Right here.
All right.
How you doing?
Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah. So obviously, great speech, and it's great to have you here. One thing that I've noticed is that given all the bubbles and all the regulations and all the government's crackdown on business in all the wrong sectors, obviously that didn't stop you from doing really well. And obviously, I assume that you did a good amount of your education for it. So I guess since you're speaking to a lot of students, as flawed as their education is, what would you recommend they focus a solid amount of time on if they want to do something very similar to what you did?
Well, I think it's always hard for me to give career advice to 1,000 people at once, and it's hard to do it in a way that's honest, because I don't think it can't possibly be the same thing for everybody, and so you have to. Narrow thing is, you have to realize that we have some crazy bubbles going on. It's probably not a good time to go work for the government. If that's the government bubble, you should probably avoid that one sector. But I would say the interview question that I always like to ask people, which is a really, people find to be a really tough one to answer, is something along the lines of, what do you believe is true that almost nobody agrees with you on? And that's probably a good starting point to find something that's valuable and is undervalued, and where you can approach it with your life. Whereas if you ask the standard answer we're sort of brainwashed to give is that truth is all social, that truth is determined by what other people think, and that you should simply do what everybody says you should do. And I think that I don't think you should don't be a lemming, don't be a sheep, just be a human being or something like that. But I would say that's the question I would start with, and in some ways, they did these studies at Harvard Business School a few years ago, where they found that people always went into the exact wrong area, and you had sort of this hothouse environment where nobody had any opinions. They were all extroverted. You put them in one place, and after sort of 2 years, they all concluded they should basically all do the same thing, and sort of almost always turn out to be the wrong thing. So, sort of in the late 80s, they all tried to work for Michael Milken just before he went to jail, and 99. They never wanted to do anything in tech except 99, just when that was about to end. They all tried to go into real estate in 05. And so you need to try to ask, the question very, very differently, I think.
Center of the room again? Yeah, it's the only mic. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for speaking tonight. My name is Pericles. I'm with the executive